Hello, everyone. I'm Darrin, 2024 Board Chair for the Huntington Beach Chamber of Commerce. I'm joined today by Rachel Ramirez for an exciting conversation about one of the Chamber's signature programs, the Robert Mayer Leadership Academy, or RMLA. Rachel's day job is the CEO and President of Performance Excellence Partners, and she also serves as the Program Director and Facilitator for RMLA. Rachel, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
The Huntington Beach Chamber, as you know, is all about connecting people, advocating for business, and building a stronger business community. And one of the ways we do that is through RMLA, the Robert Mayer Leadership Academy. Can you tell us what RMLA is and who it's designed for?
Yeah, RMLA now, and gosh, I can't even believe it, but the program this year is going to be 20 years old. And so we have a legacy of 20 years in Huntington Beach, which is really exciting. And so implied in the name, the Robert Mayer Leadership Academy, it's for Robert Mayer Sr. It's really his legacy project in our community and everything that he's done for the community of Huntington Beach. And he had this idea 20 years ago now, to really invest in the city by creating great leaders in the community, in businesses, in the city, in our fire and safety. And so really it's an opportunity for people to participate in a program where they can have an impact and make a difference in the city by engaging with really the top people in the community. We do every third Wednesday of the month for 9 months, and we take a deep dive into all kinds of issues around all kinds of areas of the city. So it's really to grow leaders in the up and coming leaders and existing leaders in Huntington Beach.
That's awesome. Can you give us an overview, a little bit more of the program? Like what does being a part of the program look like, and how much commitment does it actually require?
Yeah, great question, Darrin. Thank you. I think first and foremost, it is a commitment, and that's one of our core values. And so we're a principal-led leadership program. And so we have several core values, things like trusteeship, diversity, humor, courage. And so one of the biggest things is obviously commitment, personal responsibility. And so one of the first things you have to do when you sign up for RMLA, and we call it RMLA, right, for short, is really commit to the program, because everybody else in the program is making that commitment. And what that means is that it's a 9-month program, and so we start out by doing an orientation, and an orientation will give you an overview of the program, and we'll take a deep dive into some leadership principles. Every class day, we hear from leaders in the city, speakers that are making a difference in the city right now. And so we will do that on the very first day. And then our next get together is actually up in Big Bear at a retreat. And everybody asked me, is the retreat mandatory? And I say, absolutely. And so the years that we didn't make it mandatory, those folks really felt disconnected from the class as a whole. And so it is mandatory. And what's wonderful about that is that from the beginning of the program, you immediately get friends forever. And when I say I am not kidding, you bond up there. It's very rare that as adults, we get to take a couple days out of our schedule and really connect to a group and learn something about ourselves and about other people. And so we become fast friends. And you really are bonded from that point on, for the rest of the program and for years out. And so there's a little competition too about who is the best class. And so it's really a great time. After that, we come back and we really start our coursework. And so over the next 8 months, we really take a deep dive into different aspects of the city. And so we'll spend one day looking at healthcare, and we'll visit the hospitals, and we talk to the CEOs. And so we're not just going and touring, we're actually talking to the CEOs of every company or organization that we meet. And that is how dedicated our community is to this program. That's the reputation that we've created within the community. And so you're instantly sort of well connected with every day. We do public safety, you meet the police chief, you meet the fire chief. We do private sector, you meet CEOs and presidents of company. And so that's our private sector day. We do environmental day. You'll hear from the city, you'll hear from people that are making a difference in environmental. The school district, we hear from teachers and the school board, and they come and they meet with us and they talk about what's working well, what's a challenge in Huntington Beach, how can we show up differently as leaders and have an impact and make a difference. And so we've got 9 days with very detailed and proven programming. And it's such a great way if you really want to take a deep dive into the city and get to know Huntington Beach and see where you fit in and make a difference. This is such a great program to do that.
It sounds tremendous, and the cohort style I think is such a important learning style for adults especially. And I know what you're saying about the friendships you create, the colleagues you get to know, and the folks that you'll have connections with for a lifetime is really important. So what organizations have or should consider sending maybe an employee or a leader of their organization through the RMLA program? And what are some of the benefits back to the organization when they do send someone through the program?
Yeah, that's a really great question and so important. And so my goal always, I've been facilitating the program now for 5 years, and my goal is to create value. Always to create, like, what can we do to create value? And it's a commitment by the organization to have somebody out of their company or their nonprofit, for that third Wednesday of the month, right? That's a commitment. And so what are you getting back when somebody goes through RMLA? Well, you're instantly getting connected to 400 alumni in our city. And so we're now 20 years, we're now over 400 alumni. So there's those connections. Also, you should be able to ask your RMLA graduate any question about the city and any question about any class day, and they would know who to call, and they would have their business card. They would have a connection to, if you're having a zoning issue, if you're having a marketing issue, you're going to have the resources at your fingertips as a nonprofit, as a private sector company, as a city, where you can call upon really the decision makers in those areas that we had an opportunity to visit and work to solve your problem. Or better than solving problems is take advantage of an opportunity, right? Maybe you want to bring in you want to expand your company. How do you do that? Who do you talk to? What are some of the connections you need to make that happen? Your RMLA graduate will have the connections to start helping to make that happen. We obviously were hosted and sponsored by the Chamber and the Mayor family. And so we the Visit Huntington Beach is also one of our partners. I mean, we have so many people on the Chamber board that are fully supportive of this program. And so I can't think of a better way to get instantly connected to the decision makers of our city. And there's numerous ways that that's valuable to a nonprofit. And so, Darrin, I think part of your question was also who should join. We love to have city officials join, because if we can get somebody from housing in our program, then we immediately have access to that information and to that contact, and it enriches their experience in the impact that they're having in Huntington Beach and how important their role is in the city and what role they're playing. If we can get nonprofits to join, when nonprofits join, they often become some of the people that we do our projects with. And so each of our classes comes up with a project that they do, because like Robert Mayer, he set the pace for us in that he wanted to leave a legacy with the city. We want each class to leave a legacy in the city. And so we've done some amazing projects in the city. And so, and they're still going today. Some examples of those are like the wheelchairs that allow people with different abilities to go into the ocean. We did a senior program where we collected all senior services and put them on a really large flyer so that seniors could read it and see where all the senior services were available. We've restored the wetlands and their walkway. We've done buddy benches at elementary schools. We've done clothing drives for the homeless and the folks that don't have close to where when they check out of our hospitals. I mean, the list is endless. And so, and the impact that they've had and that these programs are still going. So our reach back into the community, if you want to have an impact and use your talents, use your resources to really have an impact in Huntington Beach, this is the place to do it.
You know, Rachel, you've used the words impact and legacy multiple times. And I think one of the benefits for organizations to send someone through RMLA is they themselves can have the opportunity to make that impact and that legacy, leave that legacy in the city when they understand what's happening in the community. And I think the RMLA
Absolutely.
program gives them that ability to know what are the challenges that Huntington Beach is facing, what are the opportunities that are out there, and how can you as a business, whether you're a not-for-profit or a for-profit or a manufacturing organization or a city official, how can you and your organization give back to this great community that we call home and really make a difference beyond just making a dollar or making a decision? How can you really impact the community and make it a better place to live, work, and play? So I think that's a really a great thing to shoot for, is that your organization wants to be impactful, wants to leave a legacy. So when does the next class begin, and how can people get more information or register to participate?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I can log on to the chamber website, and we have a really simple application there. It takes literally a few minutes if you have a resume. If you don't have a resume, just writing up a bio. We recognize that not everybody has a resume, especially if you've been in your job for a few years. And so you can just send us a description of your experience. And so just really signing up on the chamber website there's all the information, what each class day covers, the calendar. So we start in September with our orientation. And then this year, early October, we'll be doing our retreat. And then again, we have every class thereafter and graduation in June, usually at the Hilton. And they do an amazing job as our sponsor as well, doing a really nice graduation for us. And so we end that in June. And so we don't have classes in July or August. We're quiet during those months. And then after every class, we have a happy hour. And so you always have an opportunity to also, just celebrate with friends and get to know people even better. And Darrin, I do want to also say that in addition to finding out about all the different aspects of the city, we also take a lot of time to grow ourselves as leaders. And so that to me is really important. And so we do an assessment early on so that folks can get their head around their leadership style. Maybe some people know that, maybe they don't. But, oftentimes there's opportunities to improve based on our style and also based on our personal responsibility and our willingness to be open to learning and maybe doing things differently to have a bigger impact. And so beyond doing stuff for the city or with the city, individuals grow as people as well. And what I love about this program, and 5 years ago, when I decided, how do I want to give back to Huntington Beach? What role do I want to play? I was so interested in the leadership program, a principal-led leadership program, because it sharpens me. It makes me a better leader in my company and in the community. And so that's also what we do. And so I'm really in tune with word choice and keeping everybody positive, keeping everybody really taking responsibility for their growth and how they're going to learn and the impact that they're going to have, but really recognizing their brilliance and how what they have really matters and can contribute. And if they've been holding back in some way, it might be this could be the opportunity where we get to really challenge people in a safe place to be their very best. And what I love about that concept, and my favorite leadership word is congruence, it's because when you elevate one area of your life, you can't help but elevate other areas of your life. And so it very well makes a difference in your relationships at home, your relationships with difficult employees, your relationships with people around you that you maybe have thought, gosh, I wish I could make more of a difference. Well, you can, right? But and so this is another opportunity to do that.
That's so great. You're speaking language that resonates with me as a leader and someone who really values leadership development. And I've seen you in action. And I think one thing that you help folks really understand is how to have self-awareness, how to reflect on who you are and your leadership styles. I've seen you do that in many different settings. And I think that's so important because when we understand ourselves and are aware of ourselves, we can be so much better in our leadership roles, whether like you said, at home, at work, among other peers. It's so important. So is there anything else you'd like to share about RMLA?
I just really a big shout out to the Mayer family. This year, as part of Robert Mayer Sr.'s legacy, we're able to make RMLA a nonprofit, and so get a little tax write-off now, and then also hopefully bring in other services. And I also really want to thank the chamber. And so without the chamber keeping this program going all of these years in partnership with the Mayer family, we wouldn't be able to do the great work that we're doing. And so I really appreciate the support of all of our sponsors. I mean, I can't even tell you how many people, they hey lunches on us, or and they just literally roll out the red carpet for us. And so for all of our sponsors and our speakers that come back year after year, I'm just so thankful that they do that. And they're really just so much a part of the success of this program. We really couldn't do it without all of those people stepping up and making a difference.
Well, Rachel, thank you so much for your time today. The Huntington Beach Chamber is extremely proud of RMLA, of course, of all the graduates, and also the great work that you do and your passion and dedication that you pour into the program, as well as pouring into the students and the alumni. We're so proud of that 400 plus alumni. I know the RMLA program has made a significant impact on this city. 20 years is an exciting milestone to celebrate, and I know that in the next 20 years, we'll have even a greater impact. So thank you again for joining us today, sharing about this great program, and we really hope that more people will sign up and participate this year. So we hope this podcast has been helpful to all of you. If you're looking for a way to develop your staff members or yourselves, and give them a greater understanding of the local Huntington Beach community, or how your business can be a better contributor to this community, we hope you'll consider enrolling in RMLA for the fall 2024 class. If you'd like more information about the Huntington Beach Chamber or the Robert Mayer Leadership Academy, please visit us at www.hbchamber.com.